Hello everybody, welcome back to my business page. I am Lori Landsberg. I'm sure you know that by the name of the business page. And I bring you tips and tricks and information about professional grade makeup by LimeLife by Alcone. We are a company that is comprised of many different brands, top brands used by makeup artists around the world. And I am here today to tell you about our brand newest launch, our pressed colored powders. So the color powders, this is actually a sample palette. When you receive your full-size palette, you will see that it's the size of this. So you get a lot of product. But this was a way for us to get all the colors in one palette to sample and show our clients. These actually were created by Dior back in the day for makeup artists, and a company called Visiora bought them and now offer them. And Visiora partnered with LimeLife in order to allow us to rebrand them and offer them to our clients. So we're really excited about it. So what you need to know about these powders is that they are not a foundation. They are powders that actually coordinate with LimeLife's Botanical Foundation. So if you already have a foundation shade by LimeLife Botanical Foundation, I can tell you which shade is going to match your foundation. However, I want you to look at my eyes, because I used all of these shades, not all of them, but a lot of them, to get this eye look. So I'm really excited about that because they work as eyeshadows as well, because as most of you know, pigment is pigment. It can be used anywhere on your face. These are so super finely milled that they just go on and give you the most satiny finish, and you're going to see in a minute. I'm going to show you a couple of different ways to apply, but it leaves such a beautiful finish. I love it because it's a light to medium coverage, and you can even do things to make it a little bit heavier, but I love that I can just sweep it on and go, and it completely blurs my imperfections. It's so super fine that you're never going to get a cakiness with this. It's also HD, so it photographs extremely well. So this is very nice for those of you who are in front of the camera a lot, or you take a lot of selfies. They can be used alone or in conjunction with your Botanical Foundation or any other foundation for that matter. But I'm really excited to show you what it looks like. You can see my face right now. My face has discoloration. I'm turning 50 on Monday. So, you know, I've got a little discoloration. I will say that our skincare at LimeLife is super effective, and it has helped my skin tremendously. I love it. So I will tell you that the shape that your skin is in is going to depend on how all of your makeup looks. So make sure that you are using a really good quality skincare line. It does not have to be expensive. Ours is super affordable, super effective, and it's clean. And you want to just make sure you're taking care of your skin first and foremost. Your makeup's always going to look better that way. These powders are going to be good for people with normal skin, dry skin even, and oily skin, and combination skin. So just about anybody can wear them. If you have oily skin, you're going to really love this because it's powder and it's going to absorb all of that oil. And it's going to look great on your skin. It's going to blur the pores, and like I said, the fine lines and wrinkles. It will not settle into them. It will not make them look pronounced. It is not a matte finish. It is a satiny finish, which is why it is amazing. I really just went on vacation and did not take my foundation with me. That's the first time ever in my life I've ever gone without my any foundation, but the first time in 3 years I've not taken my Botanical Foundation with me on a trip. I just took these because I love the way they look. I'm really happy with the finish, and I think they're really great for summer because it gives a lighter application and your skin can breathe. I'm super excited to bring these to you. So I'm going to show you a couple of different ways to apply. Now, if you are looking for a very light application where you're talking, you just want to like sweep it on your face and go, I would recommend brush number 1 because this has loose bristles, and it just gives a very nice, it deposits really nicely in your skin, and it's just crazy to me how you can just like that and it just looks great. I'm going to show you a little bit heavier application with a different brush today, but this is one you can use. And also because this palette is tiny, it's hard to get a bigger brush into it without picking up another color from around the one that I'm going for. So that's why I'm not going to be using this brush. But once I get my full size that's this size, it won't matter because it's just one color, right? Although you may be interested to know that you can get these shades in full size as a single, a duo palette with 2, a trio palette with 3, or you can also get a 6 palette. So if you think that maybe going on vacation might be easier, if you have a bunch of different shades that you can just do your eyeshadow, your cheeks, everything, probably even brows. It's possible we could get a brow color out of this. I don't know, I haven't tried that. Then that might be the way for you to go to save money. All right, so we're always gonna prime our face first, okay? So I'm gonna take our first base primer. It's a vitamin base, and I'm just gonna prep my skin. I've already done my moisturizer. I put that on, and then I did my eyes. I'm so excited. Look, I'm so excited about these eyes. And we're gonna let that dry for just a second. I really like our primer. I love that it's a spray. It's super easy. This is our travel size bottle. This is our full size. Well, let me put this down and show you. This is our full size, and this is a travel size. So you can take this in a carry-on, which is really convenient. And there's a couple of things that you need to know, because it is not a foundation and it's not a heavy coverage, is that if you have some extra areas that you really need to cover up, then what I would recommend is you go into our concealers. Our concealers are wax-based, and you could just take a concealer brush and you could go around and you could just paint. So this morning I woke up with this little thing here. So I'm gonna do this, and I'm just gonna paint it on there. And I'm gonna feather out around the edges. And that's gonna cover that area. I haven't tried it with just the powders, but this is just a tip for you. If you have a lot of discoloration, if you have a lot of blemishes, if you have birthmark scars or anything like that, you want to go in with that concealer because it's opaque and it's waterproof and it will cover tattoos, so you know it's going to cover any kind of blemishes that you have on your face that are a little bit heavier or a little bit darker, then you're going to want to show through this foundation. So you can just cover this up like that, really easy. Just plop it on. You could use your finger as well. Using your fingers in products is actually a really good thing. It's nice and warm. It warms up the product and then it spreads it easily. So your fingers are a really good tool, so don't forget about that. What I'm going to be using today to show you is this brush that is super, super dense. Now, if you use a powdery brush, you're going to get a really nice light finish. But if you use a denser brush, it's going to pick up pigment more, and we're just going to wiggle it into our skin. So I have a card that tells you which powder is going to be perfect for you based on your botanical foundation shade. Now, I'm normally a Shinto 1, which would ordinarily be powder number 4. However, I decided that I wanted to go with number 3 because I really don't have that much color, and I'm finding I've got a good bit of pink to my skin, so I'm just going to use this, and we'll see together what it looks like. But I'm going to use this brush, and also because it's tiny, it's going to fit in there. So I'm just going to go in here and just sort of stick this brush here. Now, I have not tried this, so guys, I'm doing this first here. I'm just sort of pressing it in, and I'm going to get the pigment on there. And then I am just going to, where am I going to start? I'm going to start here, and I'm just going to kind of press it into the skin, kind of wiggling it around. I'm going to go on one side of the face so you can see the difference. This powder is the #1 powder on the market. The #1 most requested and most bought powder on the market because it's so popular. So this has been used by makeup artists for years, and now you have the option to use it as well. So I'm just taking it and I'm pressing it into the skin. And I just think it's incredible to me that it gives the coverage that it gives. So what's really cool is right now what I'm doing is I'm using the shade that works best for my skin tone, but then there are shades that are good also for your highlighting and for contouring. You can use it all in the same palette. Isn't that crazy? I think what I'll do, well, we'll get it on here and we'll see, but you can see how it just leaves such a beautiful finish, and it just blurs everything out. So this is number 3. And you can already see the difference in this side of my face versus this side of my face. See that? And that's just barely using any powder at all. Okay. There we go. Let's get... Okay. Another way that you could apply it would be with your Blenderful. So your Blenderful is the same idea, but again, This is a teeny tiny one. So this is the mini blenderfuls that we had around the holidays, and this is the larger size. But the reason I'm not going to dip this in is because it's too big to go in this sample palette. So I thought I would just show you. You could just take this and you could just pick some up like that and press it into your skin. Oh wow, now see, that's a heavier application. Several different ways that you could do this. Wow, that's a heavier application. That's pretty good. Okay, then what we could do, see the difference? Blurred. Well, we can go into this one, number one, and use this as a highlight. So I'm going to use the same blenderful. I'm going to take it on the edge, and I'm just going to swipe it in there, and we're going to go right under the eye, because this is also not going to, it's not going to accentuate your wrinkles. That's the key, is that this is powder, but it doesn't accentuate your wrinkles. So that's pretty good. And this is number one, and this is just highlighting around, right there around my eye, just to brighten things up a little bit. But you could also use it if you wanted down your nose, just in the places that where you would normally use a highlighter. Of course, I don't have foundation. I don't have it all on the other side of my face. So it might look a little funny. But all kinds of ways. Then we could take a darker color and we could use it for contouring. But what I want to do is I want to go on the other side of the face so we can get the full face effect, and you can see how this is going to look. So if you have a nice dense brush, which we do, this is a little bit denser brush, and this is called the diffuser brush. It's bigger than our number 5 brush, and this would work really well, but again, I can't dip it into the palette. So what I would do is I would just dip it into the bigger palette, and that would be fine. And I'm curious to see how that's going to work. So that's why I'm using this one right here. And again, remember, you can just sweep a little bit on with a powder brush and then walk out the door, and it looks great. If you guys want to know what your color is going to be for you, just let me know, and I'm happy to color match you. Okay. I mean, look at my face. It really looks great. I get a lot of compliments. I have been. My girlfriend, when I was on vacation, said she couldn't believe how great my skin looked with just that powder. It just looked so nice. And see, that's just a little bit of number 1 right under the eye, just to highlight. And you can again go here and just put number 1 here to highlight here. Let's go back here now that we have it all covered. Okay, see how great that looks? It's nice and diffused. It gives a nice diffused satiny finish. So now we're going to take the blenderful, and you could take your brush or you could take the blenderful, but I want to try this, and we're going to go into number, I think we'll go into number 8, which is one of the shades I used on my eyes. Look at that. And we're going to go right into this area to do some contouring. I'm just going to place it first. And you can even do it around your hairline, which I really recommend. I mean, you guys, when you think about it, you could have a 6-well palette of all these shades, and that would be it. You wouldn't even need blush. You wouldn't need shadows. If you were going on a trip and you were limited on the amount you could take, you could just take these powders. You know, there's no issue going into customs or going through with your carry-on with powders the way there is with liquids. So this is going to help right here to give you that sort of sun-kissed look. And also, because I have such a tall forehead, I like to contour up here, because it brings my forehead down, so you're not looking like all the way up to, you know, a tall forehead. So we've got all that, and then I'm just going to take, let's see, and I'm just going to blend this in. I'm going to go up and blend this in upward. Let's see, I'm going to take my number 1 brush, that's my favorite brush, and I'm going to blend it up. And then you can also go back in with your brush that you've been using, and that will also help blend it as well. Okay, you could put this down the side of your nose if you want to contour your nose as well. Okay, what else did I want to show you? Oh, now I'm going to show, just from what we've done, I'm going to go in with a little bit of blush number 6 because it's my favorite. It's a beautiful color to highlight with, and I'm going to put it up here to highlight the tops of my cheekbones, but I also really, really love it all over, especially in the summer. It just gives this luminous, luminous glow. Don't be afraid to put it on your nose. Anywhere you would highlight, just brush a little bit on because it really looks nice. And I'm going to bring it down my neck because I don't want my neck to be white. And I'm going to take just a tiny little bit of blush just to see how this looks. I'm loving this. Is blush number 5, I think it is. And it's just a beautiful pink. I'm going to just take brush number 1 again. I'm just going to put it right on the apples of my cheeks just to give myself a little wee bit of color. And it blends in beautifully with blush number 6. And there you have it. See that? It is a beautiful powder. It gives a beautiful finish. And these powders are now on my website at LoriLandsberg.com. If you would like to know which shade would suit you best, please shoot me a message. I'm happy to help color match you and give you shades also that would help with your contouring, your highlighting, maybe some shadows. But I really think you need to give this a go because it is super easy, super fast, and it really leaves a gorgeous finish. Thank you guys for joining me. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm happy to answer, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.